Hi everyone, welcome to Thursday's Math. Today we're going to go over lines, line segments, and rays, and then we're also going to go over angles. Today is the last day for videos this week, and then for tomorrow's assessment you can use the videos I've posted on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Please remember that Friday is a holiday, so you do not have school, so please make sure the packets and the online work get done by tomorrow for Thursday. Okay, so to start, we're going to go over lines. A line goes on forever in both directions. So these arrows right here represent that this line can continue going on as far as it needs to go. So arrows represent it can go on forever. Whereas a line segment is part of a line that has two endpoints. So these dots right here are called endpoints. That means when you have endpoints that your line stops right there. It can't go any further or cannot be any bigger or smaller than this right here. So again, arrows mean can go on forever. Endpoints mean it stops. It can't go on any further from that. And then a ray goes on forever in one direction and then has one endpoint on the other side. So for example, in this first one, this line is going to go forever and ever this direction because of the arrow, but it is going to stop right here. It will go no further than that dot. Whereas on this one down here, this is your endpoint. This is where that line is going to stop, but it will go on forever in that direction. So again, remember, arrows mean that it will continue going on in either way. Endpoints mean that it will stop right there and will not go any further. So that is the difference between a line segment, and a ray. Some of you might be asking, well, when do I need to use those, or why do I need to know about those? Well, that's when angles come into play. An angle is considered two rays that meet at one point. So all of these angles that I have drawn are two rays, these guys, that are combined or connect at one endpoint and go off into other directions. So the endpoints would meet here and then they would go off there, or they would meet here and they would go off there. Angles are really important because they measure your shapes. So, for example, if I brought this back, all of these shapes here on regular and irregular all have angles. That's an angle, that's an angle, that's an angle, these are angles. They're all angles, or two rays that come together to form an angle. So there's three types of angles that we are going to learn about. The first one is called a right angle. You have seen these before. Right angles come together to form a perfect L, or upside down L, or sideways L, and you can always make a perfect box right here. So these are considered right angles. These are 90-degree angles if you measure them with a protractor. We do not have those, but if you were to measure it, this would be 90 degrees. If I push these two together, it would form a perfect square. The other two types are called obtuse angles and acute angles. Obtuse angles are larger than 90 degrees, which means these are going to be angles that open up bigger than a right angle. So these open like this. Obtuse, another way to think about it, is a very close word to obese. These are obese or obtuse angles, which mean very large angles. So this one is almost looks like it is a straight line, so that would be a large angle or an obtuse angle. If you drew these circles here, you would see that these are much larger than the squares that you were drawing there. So again, obtuse angles are the angles that open up to be extremely wide. The opposite is acute angles. Acute angles are smaller or less than 90 degrees, so they're going to be smaller than these. And another way to remember these are that the word cute, if you're talking about like a cute little animal, they're small. So acute can be helpful to remember these. These ones, when you draw, are going to be much tinier than these obtuse ones, and they'll be smaller than these right angles. So it's really important that when you see an angle that looks like an L or an upside down L, that those are right angles. The ones that open up bigger than that are obtuse angles, and then the ones that are tinier than that are considered acute angles. Okay, please let me know if you have any questions. You will do some matching today, and you will write the names of the angles next to the pictures, and then you will write line, line segment, or ray next to the pictures as well. If you have any questions, please let me know. Again, your work is on Edulastic or in the paper packet. Have a great rest of your weekend.